I'm reading this cute book called Keeper of Magical Things by Julie Leong. The sense of humor is so whimsical, it's adorable. There are a lot of enchanted objects in this, and some of them even speak. So, for example, there's a teapot, an old teapot that brews perfect tea. It's a magical teapot that brews perfect tea. But the whole time it's brewing, it keeps talking and talking and talking as if it's like an old auntie giving advice. It's really, really cute. So I really enjoyed this author's sense of humor. This is her second book. I liked the first one also quite a bit. That one was called Teller of Small Fortunes. But I think I like this one even more. And there's something about whimsy that can be so appealing. Now this book comes under the cozy fantasy genre, and it's a genre that I thoroughly enjoy, and it's so comforting. The idea behind the books in this genre is it's even though it's fantasy, it's a fantasy setting, so there's a lot of world building and a lot of things happening, but it's not anything huge. It's all simple lives, small stories, and the pace is a little slow and easygoing, and it's comforting, and you're not at the edge of your seat wondering what's going to go wrong next, what twist is happening. The stakes are quite low, just the bare minimum of stakes to keep you interested. Like, okay, little bit of like, where is this story gonna go? Just the bare minimum enough to keep you interested, but beyond that, it's so easy going and it's such a comfort read. There are a lot of great cozy fantasy books. One author I like apart from Julie Leong is Travis Baldry. He has a Legends and Lattes series, and of course the series has one book specifically called Legends and Lattes. There are other books under the main series with other names, but it comes under this Legends and Lattes. And I really enjoyed reading that book also because it has the stories about this person building a cafe from scratch. So as you can imagine, that was like, that hit home a little close. The difficulty of procuring a team, procuring ingredients, putting things together, the hard work, but also the excitement, and one by one the dishes getting developed. It was such a nice book to read also. Hi, I'm Susmita Veganosaurus, and this is the Feel Good Factor. This is a podcast about mindfulness, joyfulness, well being, fulfillment in your work, your life, your creativity. It's specifically for small business owners who run conscious businesses and multi passionate creators and entrepreneurs. But yeah, a lot of what I share generally seems to appeal to a wider variety of people because who doesn't want to feel good? The reason I was talking to you about this book I'm reading is, look, the cozy fantasy genre is so easygoing, simple, and ordinary, and yet it has a huge fan base. I'm on this app called Pagebound where we track our reading for the books, but every single book has its own forum. And anyone can go there and discuss the book as we read it. all the chats are there, and then you keep chatting with people and saying, oh my god, I love this part, or post a quote there, or share an opinion, or an observation about a craft skill. So we have a lot of interesting conversations. And a lot of these cozy fantasy books, they have a lot of like the conversation is much higher in cozy fantasy books than say the literary fictions or the more award winning books and stuff like that. Those have talk too, but this is something else. It's of a different level entirely. Sangu Mandanna, even her books are so nice and so cute. The stakes are slightly higher, but still it comes under cozy fantasy. Even her books, the forums are full of buzz and chatter and chat. On the outside, you'd think that, a great epic with lots of things happening in it, war and struggle, and, like this huge story arc that the main characters go through to come out strong and stuff like that. Or things like, stories which would delve into very deep emotions. And literary fiction which has books that have won prizes or have been nominated and stuff like that. Now all these are really nice, but there is this thought. You would think that these are the books that will be most popular or most appreciated, the ones with the awards, the ones that go deep into different kinds of topics, human emotions and relationships and stuff like that. But the reason cozy fantasy is popular, which is such a surprise, right? Because people want some kind of entertainment or stakes, and this is so easygoing that you would think people might get bored, but they don't. And there is a reason for that. We all want to feel a sense of stress-free, easygoingness. We all like that, and we think, we believe that the other stuff, the harder stuff, the adventurous stuff, the bigger stuff, growth, we think that that is important only because it's just something that we see out in society, and other people giving it importance and weightage, and we think, oh, that's what we need to do. We need to achieve big things and have this huge character arc for our own work and business, our own growth, and show like, okay, I started like this, but I struggled this much and then I made it so big. We think that is what is required out of us in life. But honestly, simple, ordinary lives are wonderful. We don't have to struggle a lot or achieve something huge. Small, simple, regular daily accomplishments. That's all we need. Just doing something good in the world, putting some good energy out there and feeling good in the process, taking care of our own selves in the process. This is actually the real prize, and it's a blessing to live a life like that. So it's a lesson to take away by watching the popularity of cozy fantasy books versus literary fiction books, because literary fiction books are amazing. Some of them are like excellent. You want to read them, but there is a limit to which you can read them. And I read a couple of literary fictions and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going back to cozy fantasy and whimsy and joy and humor, because that's what we need more of in our lives. So in your own goals, in your work, in your day-to-day living, are you picturing your life as this big epic struggle and growth and overcoming things and coming out the other side strong? Are you picturing that as your life? Is that your aim for the future? Or are you picturing a life of feeling deeply content, peaceful, doing something good and worthy on a day to day basis, filling your daily life with things that bring you satisfaction and joy and peace, and where you put love and maybe laughter and whimsy out into the world? Is that the life that you want? Is that the life you're looking at? Don't think of expectations from your family or your colleagues, your friends. Forget all of that, right? Forget what the world is saying or world is expecting. Shut yourself off from that for a bit, and then picture your life as either a cozy fantasy full of joy and whimsy and easygoing but meaningful life, or an epic story where there is some struggle and overcoming, and you've achieved some grand things. Ask yourself, put your life in both sides, as both things, as both situations, and ask yourself, what is it you really truly want in your own being, in your own soul and your heart? Once you're clear on that, it'll help you make much better decisions for your own business or for the next steps you take in any project, for everything, because this becomes your compass. And then you make your decisions based on, okay, this is what is more important to me. A simple, easygoing, content life. Or this is more what is more important to me, a challenge that I need to prove something out in the world. There is no right or wrong here, by the way, but whatever you choose, make sure that your own, uh, you know, you're aware enough to be kind to yourself, to prioritize yourself, to prioritize your own peace and fulfillment above all else, no matter which path you choose. All right, thank you so much for listening to the Feel Good Factor. I'm Susmita Veganosaurus. If you enjoy this episode, then you're going to love my free newsletter, The Feel Good Tribe. Go to veganosaurus.com/newsletter to sign up. The link is in the show notes. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week. Take care. Bye.